What's going on, everyone? Anthony here, and welcome to another episode of Marchio Reviews. On today's episode, I'm reviewing the Netflix original movie, Spenser Confidential, starring Mark Wahlberg, Winston Duke, and Alan Arkin. Now, it tells the story of a cop, Mark Wahlberg, who beats up his captain because he thinks that something's going on. And he spends 5 years in jail, and we find out the true nature of why he was put in prison. From there, things start escalating. Something does happen to the captain, and Mark Wahlberg has to find out what happened. And there's more of a backstory to everything, and a rookie cop is involved, and he needs to solve certain things about what happened and why. His new roommate, Winston Duke, who you may know from Black Panther, joins him on this adventure, as does his boxing coach, Alan Arkin. And it's great. This movie is great. It's also directed by Berg, who you may know, who did Lone Survivor, and has starred in other, interesting comedy and action movies back in the day. This movie is great. It does have a great story to it. It's very funny at times. The ending has a big action sequence at a racetrack, and it just unravels everything from there. It's a great movie. It's a quick movie. It's not too long. It's about 2 hours long. It's a quick watch, and seeing the back and forth between Mark Wahlberg and Winston Duke is great, and even with Alan Arkin is great. And Alan Arkin is playing the old man, the old wise man, saying what he wants to say and doesn't give a shit about anything. This movie is really fun, and I'm actually surprised to say that Berg directed a really fun movie. The only takeaway I have from it is that the villain could have been better. He wasn't that menacing, he wasn't that deceiving, and he wasn't that interesting to me at all. Once we find out who the villain is, it was just like a big letdown for me. And if you had the villain more of a badass and going toe-to-toe with Mark Wahlberg, and like he does in mostly any other movies he's in that has a villain, it'll be really good. But the villain took away this movie from me, and it wasn't that interesting. And the reasoning behind certain things and why the villain did what he did is not that interesting at all. But Mark Wahlberg's character is badass, and I'm hoping there's a sequel to this because this movie was really fun. I'm a huge fan of Mark Wahlberg and Donnie Wahlberg, so whenever they do a movie, I'm on par with it, and I want to see what they do, even if it's horror, action, comedy, whatever they do, it's fantastic. I give Spenser Confidential a 4 out of 5 stars. You can check it out on Netflix now, and let me know in the comment section below what you thought of Spenser Confidential. Do you give it a 5 out of 5 stars? Do you give it a 4 out of 5 stars like I did? And tell me why. Alright everyone, that does it for this episode of Marchio Reviews. I'm your host Anthony. Thanks for tuning in.